Welcome back, gang. It's Deltia from deltiasgaming.com. Iron Banner is coming back to Destiny 2 during Season of the Seraph on January 3rd, and with it coming two returning weapons with new roles. The Dark Decider Autorifle, which can roll Volt Shot and is unique amongst autorifles, along with Gunnora's Axe Shotgun, which is a slug shotgun and is second only to the Inquisitor in kill potential. In this video, I'm going to give you a quick rundown of god rolls for both PvE and PvP and why you should get these weapons. Let's jump right in with the Dark Decider. If we take a second to break down the stats of the Dark Decider Autorifle, it's comparable to most other legendary rapid-fire frame autorifles, having low range and recoil direction, but decent stability and aim assistance. These weapons are all about putting a lot of bullets downrange quickly, close to mid-range. While it's beaten stat-wise by its brother the Crate, they do go in different slots, meaning you will rarely be choosing one over the other. The real comparison will be between it and the Sweet Sorrow, the other Arc Elemental rapid-fire frame. Here's the PvE god roll. Arrowhead Break in the barrel is the best option because the recoil on rapid-fire frame auto rifles is awful. This will give it a nice little handling buff as well. In PvE, on the magazine perk, it's all about increased magazine size, so A-Pen Mag or Tactical Mag were great. While Extended Mag does increase our magazine size to 59, that's only 3 more bullets than A-Pen Mag, and it hits our reload speed, so it's not worth taking the reduction in reload speed. Speaking of magazine size, in column number 3 for PvE is the obvious choice Subsistence. This will keep us from having to reload during firefights too often. And for column 4, Volt Shot is the obvious choice here, especially if you're rocking an arc build. Jolting targets is powerful and none of the other perks here are quite as good. For PvE, Vested Stinger is my favorite origin trait for a reason. Not having to waste time on reloading your weapon is always a boon. More time on target equals more damage. For our masterwork, we're going to go with Stability. It's the play here to keep our gun on target, especially if you're using controller. For our mod, I like Counterbalance Stock to make our recoil better, but feel free to mix and match whatever you want, including minor spec. Overall, rapid fire frame auto rifles are a great choice in PvE, and this is the first of its kind to be able to roll in Volt Shot. So it's a worthy addition to your collection, a solid gun worth going for. Next up is the PvP god roll for this weapon. For our barrel perk, the best option by far is Arrowhead Break, as the recoil on rapid fire frames, well, is awful. This will give us a nice little handling buff as well. For PvP, things that help our range without a cost are also a great option, so if you have hammer forged rifling and small bore, those are good as well. And that being said, everything in PvP is about improving our range. Not only does this improve our damage fall off range, but also our aim assist and bullet magnetism. So accurized rounds here is the absolute choice. For column 3, we don't have really any great options, but dynamic sway reduction can help us stay on target. In column 4, we really have one choice, and that's rangefinder. This will increase our target acquisition range just like a base stat boost to range would. Origin trait Skulking Wolf is better for PvP than Vested Stinger, so look for that. For our masterwork, we're going to go with the range masterwork since it helps out our aim assist. For our mod, Target Adjuster is my favorite in PvP to keep your weapon on target. When it comes to PvP, rapid fire frame auto rifles are a niche choice, but some people love them. Personally, I think it is more of a PvE weapon, but feel free to give it a shot. Next up, we have the Gunnorian's Axe Shotgun. Let's break down the stats. The Gunnorian's Axe is slightly better than most other pinpoint slug frame shotguns. These weapons are all about hitting your target directly in the crit spot with a singular slug, and their stats give you a lot of range. There are two direct comparisons to Gunnorian's Axe, and they are the Inquisitor and the First In Last Out. The Inquisitor beats it in all-out stats, but it's much harder to obtain and lacks some of the perks that makes Gunnorian's Axe a great PvE choice. But Gunnorian's Axe may finally dethrone First In Last Out from its throne in the energy slot for PvE. So first up, let's talk about the PvE god roll. For our barrel perk, we want to go with range, so hammer forged rifling is the play. Sadly, the Gunnorian's Axe cannot roll without assault mag, so we will have to do with that magazine size, increasing perks like A-Pen Mag and Tactical Mag. This is a shotgun that can be used for double slug boss damage strategy. And as such, the best choice here is auto-loading holster. This will allow you to switch between two shotguns without having to reload them. This means you can spend all that time putting massive amount of slugs into boss critical spots and almost no downtime. Since this will be a boss damage weapon, Vorpal Weapon is the primary choice here. If you plan on doing other things with the shotgun, Volt Shot isn't a bad option either to open up the build options. For the way we're going to be using this weapon, our origin trait doesn't matter too much, but Suros Synergy is the best choice. A handling masterwork allows quicker aiming down sights and faster swap speeds, which are crucial to getting the most damage out of the dual slug shotgun strat. Next up is the mod, and as a primary boss damaging weapon, you're going to want to put boss spec mod here. Slugs, while no longer the best DPS, are still a viable option, and perhaps when linear fusion rifle meta dies, this weapon will be a great choice, so it's definitely worth farming for PvE. Next up is the PvP god roll. You're going to see a trend with every single perk chosen here. It's all about target acquisition, and that means range, and even more range. Hammer Forge rifling is just a straight buff to range in the play here in the barrel. Accurized rounds improves our range, and we've already discussed why. Target acquisition. We have a couple of choices in column 3. I prefer moving target because it's more consistent than surplus, and we should be aiming down sights more frequently with this weapon. Column 4 PvP weapon is all about opening shot for huge burst potential, and that's why I go with the opening shot perk. Column 5 is the playstyle dependent one, and I lean on survivability, making Skulking Wolf a great origin trait option. Remember what we said before, we want range, so obviously we want the range masterwork. The target acquisition mod is the staple for a lot of PvP weapons, and Gunnoria's axe is no exception. If you're confident in your shots, you can go with quick access sling. It's a good alternative. Slugs are a lot of fun and effective choice for PvP. The Gunnorian axe has a lot going for it with decent stats and decent perk combinations. It could be argued that the Inquisitor is the better option, but it's much harder to obtain. Well gang, that's a video. I hope you got something out of this. I have links in the description below if you would prefer the written guide for a reference in the future, so come check that out, along with builds on my website for every single Destiny class and subclass. Also consider liking and subscribing, which will allow my channel to grow and make more Destiny 2 content, and thanks for watching.